Well, I think
Well,
I think they given Tua time to recover from his thing, and they drafted him knowing that they wanted him to be the face of that team, that franchise quarterback. And so I think he's had enough time to recover and come in and still do a good job. However, I'm kind of on the fence of sometimes you have to go with the hot hand and what's working chemistry wise for your team at the moment. Sometimes you can mess that up when you shake things up mid season like that. So they're taking a gamble, but I think Tua is up for the challenge.
Yeah, I would say I think they absolutely made the right decision. If Tua is 100% healthy, honestly, I would have played him from week one. When you look at the quarterback landscape and how much they take, the percentage that they take up of the cap now, and the way that you have to make a decision. Of course, he was a first-round pick, so you have the luxury of having that fifth-year option at the end of his contract. But a lot of these quarterbacks now are getting paid after the third year. You can't afford to lose a whole year with no information on Tua Tagovailoa and then be looking to pay him after that third year because you're going to want to pay him, especially after that fourth year. And you're looking at what quarterbacks now, by the time that Tua comes up, if Tua is what a lot of people, including myself, think he is, I think he has all-world potential, you're giving him $200 million. So you need to have as much information, as many starts under his belt. You need to see him in as many situations as possible before, you sit down and negotiate with him. And you need as much information as possible. And I think that's the time for Tua to get in there. He has 2 weeks before they play the Rams. I think they don't play again until November 1st. So he has time to get ready for the Rams. And like I said, you just need to see what you have in Tua. I think the team is 3-3, and they're going to make some noise. But like I said, Tua is your investment. This team is only going to go as far as Tua goes, at least for the next 4 to 5 years. And you need to see what you have right now, even if that means punting on the season. I think that they waited until they had a good situation. He's coming in. The offense is playing well. The defense is playing well. I mean, when would be a better time to put him in, right? I think you just kind of, even if you do punt on the season and say, hey, we don't make the playoffs, or hey, we don't win the division, you have 10 games to see what Tua Tagovailoa does, and you basically, start looking into the future of the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm happy because I'm a Tua fan. I love Tua. I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback, to come out of the draft class.
okay.
But for me, I think, like what Mia said, if it's not broke, don't fix it right now. Yeah, when is a better time to put him in? But you're still trying to win. They're second in their division right now. They have something going, and not saying that Tua is going to mess that up, but we know that Fitzpatrick, he hasn't been playing terrible. He's been having solid numbers, and I think for them to mess up what's working right now is I just don't agree with it. I'm happy that Tua is going to play, and I'm happy for him because he deserves to play. But for me, if they were going to play him this early, I would have rather them start with him. But it's okay, they saw what Ryan Fitzpatrick had, and he looked okay. He didn't look like someone bad enough for Tua to take his spot for me. So I'm kind of 50-50 with it. I'm happy because I want to see Tua. I think Tua is going to ball. I'm not sure if he's going to ball this season just because, he's a rookie. He has to get comfortable. And I think that the Dolphins were, they were doing something. They're 3-3 now, second in their division, which is a division they've never seen look like they were going to look like they were going to win. But now you got the Patriots, they 2-3. They're trying to get themselves together. The Bills, they just got blown out by the Titans. So they're looking human now. And it's I feel like it was the Dolphins' time to kind of get some chemistry flowing and get the ball rolling. And I feel like they were doing that with Fitzpatrick. But I don't think they made a mistake because Tua can go out there and ball out. I believe he can. But if he doesn't, I feel I don't know. And when it comes to Tua, I feel like a mom because I'm okay, y'all had to play him versus, y'all had to put him in versus the Rams. His first game, his first start, he going against Aaron Donald. It's just dang. I hope he does well. I wish him a great game, and I hope that he, shows everyone who's talking against him. I hope he shows them that he should be a starter in the NFL, but I just don't know if I agree with them doing it right now.
I think when we look at, them taking, first of all, the Dolphins being 3-3 and Ryan Fitzpatrick playing the way he is, I think we only look at that from a glass half full perspective, right? And we only look at what if it keeps going well? They're a 500 football team. And if you look at the track record of Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins, chances are to tell you that they'll eventually regress to the mean, right? And so what happens if they keep riding the hot hand and Ryan Fitzpatrick has a good QBR and they end up 7-9, and then that's 10 games of experience that Tua could have got that he didn't get because they wanted to ride the hot hand. So, like I said, Tua is your future. The Miami Dolphins will only go as far as Tua Tagovailoa takes them. It's time to see what he can do for your franchise. You need as much information as possible before you get to that third, fourth year, and you got to sit down and decide if you're going to pay him $200 million or not. You know what Ryan Fitzpatrick is. Thanks for the 6 games. Thanks for mentoring Tua. Go hold that clipboard. Appreciate you.
And I agree with you, because at the same time, like, we don't know what they're seeing in, like, practice. We don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? So clearly they're seeing something that, you know, because I would hope that they wouldn't just like, oh, okay, you know, we're 3-3, let's just put Tua in there. So, you know, I want to trust in the Dolphins like that. They're seeing something in Tua. You know, he got in last game, but they're seeing something like, okay, I think he should be our starter. And I really hope that he does well, because and I hope he doesn't get injured, because this is like such a great story for him. This time last year, he looked what was looking to be a career-ending injury. So to see him almost a year later come back and start in the NFL is an amazing story within itself. So I honestly hope that they made the right decision.
Yeah, I think the Rams matchup would be a good matchup for him to come back to, though. Like you said about him having to go against Aaron Donald, I think that will show a lot to what he can do under pressure, you know, and that speaks for him later on, game after game after game. So he's got to come in with some type of a challenge to prove he's worthy.
First left-hander since Kellerman Moore in 2016. There's power in that left hand.
He got my vote.
Power to Kellerman Moore holding the playbook too right now, John.
Yeah, I believe in Tua. Tua Tagovailoa. I wish we had that Rick Ross soundbite. Yeah.
Well, shoot. All I gotta say is the Dolphins are 3-3. They're not playoff contenders. I mean, if you want to call them playoff contenders, they're not Super Bowl contenders. They beat the San Francisco 49ers without Jimmy Garoppolo and a bunch of other dudes. They beat the New York Jets. I don't think I need to say anything. And they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they made the correct decision. I believe they planned this out the moment they drafted Tua and they saw that buy spot right there. I think this was all planned. I think this is the perfect move. And it's just realism. I think the Miami Dolphins understand that they want to win a championship and not moral victory, just like a lot of people in the world. And so my hat's off to Brian Flores and the management at Miami Dolphins, and I can't wait to see Tua. It's going to be great to market it too. I bet you I'm going to tune into the next game. But with all that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. Tell us what you think about Tua in the Dolphins uniform as a starter. Tell us if you think Ryan Fitzpatrick should still be on the field as a starter. And also hit the like button and subscribe for more content with SOS. Thanks for tuning in.